gonna be dope. And not apologize for it. I'm sorry I'm dope, nigga.
I'm sorry I'm dope.
Around it, embrace it. This is a fact of life.
5, 4, 3. Live with Miss T, you definitely have to embrace your dopeness. And I've just embraced it. That in my own right, I'm dope. And one reason why I'm dope is because of the work of my next guest. So you guys, I've told you the story over and over again. I've told you I come up here, I was just supposed to be, just kind of coaching during the interview. And I met this wonderful lady with Pretty Girl Talk. And she's in the studio today. How are you doing, Brittanie?
I am good. Apparently, so are you. Which is amazing.
Listen,
I'm honored to be here.
Brittanie Oluchi is in the studio today. She was the previous host of Pretty Girl Talk right here at DFWIRadio.com. Since then, she done got married. She done had, I think you got 3 babies.
I have 3 now.
Listen, I said every time I looked up,
I know. Another baby. I'm married to a Nigerian, so it's what happens.
Listen. Oh, you are?
Yep, that's what happens.
Oh, you gotta tell me about it. I forgot. Dale wants to marry a Nigerian. Simply
Really?
because she wants to have a Nigerian.
Just because I want to have a Nigerian wedding. That's it.
And we just left one, too, actually,
Girl,
from this weekend. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. They are wedding.
I could have been over there just...
Yeah, girl. But you know what? I still got you because when you come to my class, girl, that's what we do.
Girl, see, I'm finna go find me one. Jesus made a way.
God.
You know it.
God. Brittanie Oluchi is in the studio. Before we get into the swing of things, I was just talking about, this is the first time I've talked about it with actually you here, about how I was never planning to be on air. I was just coming to coach, make sure that they hit all of the pointers and they said what they were supposed to say for the back to school interview. And then we ended up talking about, I think it was Freddie Gray at that time. And it just transpired from there. And I never imagined we'd be here.
Right. But you know what? It's natural. And that day, I said, she has to have a show. Like, the way you just kind of, your conversation was on point. Like, you literally, it just flowed. And I was like, this is her calling.
Listen, so Pretty Girl Talk has taken a back seat. I still, when I say Pretty Girl Talk, I think of you.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a season. I think now, that I'm married, I have more kids. I'm just kind of transitioning. And even though that was a really good avenue for that time, my passion has always been theater and dance.
Theater and dance.
Yeah.
And so now you have Afrobeats. Tell us about that.
Yes, so Afrobeats is, it's a popular thing. It's like African music. They have Caribbean style. There's just an array of types of Afrobeats, but it's kind of just starting to hit America. We're kind of behind, but Afrobeats dance and fitness is something that originated in the UK. And so what's happening is it's kind of like Zumba. I guess the concept is very similar, but you take the Afrobeats and you're able to take the popular Afrobeats dance styles and just kind of put it to aerobics.
Now listen, you're a mother of 3, and we were talking about this whole, getting it back into shape, because everybody is concerned about the snapback. And I've been told that through your class with Afrobeats, you can burn like 700 calories.
Right.
You were telling
you
me
can
in
actually,
one class.
you can burn more than that actually. So to kind of give you an idea of how I started this class, again, I'm married to a Nigerian, and it's funny because before I actually married him, I kind of got into the Afrobeats music. And I always kind of thought, like, man, if they could do something like this, like, Zumba, but with Afrobeats music, that would be kind of dope. So it just kind of put it into the back of my mind. But after I had baby number 1, I'm like, okay, I'm going to hit the gym. Baby number 2 came right away, so I couldn't do that. And so I noticed that, with 2 babies, you can't go to the gym like you want to. And so I would listen to this Afrobeats music and be in the bathroom kind of dancing, because that's a passion that I've always had, was dance. And I started trying to learn the moves. And so I kind of looked online and I said, well, is there anybody doing an Afrobeats class that I can kind of look at? And I found a couple of people, but they were in London. So I said, being the kind of entrepreneur that I am, I said, hey, well, let me just ask, this apartment complex here, if they'll let me teach there, and been rolling ever since.
Listen, so now you're teaching in Grapevine, right?
There's a Grapevine location, so that class is at 9 a.m.
Okay.
On Saturdays. It's at the rec field, and you can go to the Grapevine Rec Center website to register for that class. And then we have an afternoon class at the Euless Family Life Center. That class is from 12 to 1. And you can go to the Euless texas.gov website and register for that class. And we'll be adding a Wednesday night class in Euless starting in December.
Girl, you out there.
Listen, and we got a little clip. Can you go to the computer? We got a little clip of a going. Listen, that's gonna be that watch is gonna be slow. That ain't right. That ain't. Look at it. Then look. Just we all prepared, ready to go. I hate technology sometimes.
That's how it happens. But the one thing I really want to try to connect the listeners to is the concept that, you know, there's something different out there. We kind of get stuck into the whole, and I don't want to downplay Zumba, but we kind of get stuck into the whole, you know, Zumba, jazzercise. This class is different. I mean, you are moving parts of your body that you didn't know you could even get in shape.
Really?
Yes, and with this particular class, I work everything from your head down to your toes. You're going to get, you know, the backs of your arms. We're going to work that out. We work your thighs out. We work everything. We work your hips. You're going to get your glutes straightened out. I mean, literally, when you leave that class, I always advise people to wear your Fitbit because I want you to count how many calories you're going to burn.
I said I want to get me one. That's one of the things that I haven't got me yet is one of the little counting calorie
I'm
things.
just trying to get to the class so I can go find me my Nigerian.
You really want one? Girl, it's so many weddings. Like,
Just
it's so
for the
many.
wedding.
No.
I just want to have me a Nigerian wedding.
Brittany.
Yeah.
In real life. Like, I forgot about... when
I did not know you had that interest.
Listen, when I tell them, when I give them my little...
If people be thinking I be playing, no. Friend,
I'm not gonna lie,
have
though,
I been
like,
telling you listen.
the weddings are pretty lit, though. That's when they throw
Thank
the
you.
money and you doing your dance.
I just want to be in the center. Come on.
I mean,
oh, no. Oh, no.
Do you listen to Afrobeats and do you hang out in
I
like
do.
Nigerian? Oh, you
I
do
do.
for real? So you know David O, techno, all that, right?
She be. I'm
You
for
need to
real
come
about
to the
this.
class,
Look,
I'm telling you.
serious about this. I'm gonna get married just because my mama gonna be mad. But oh well, mama.
It's possible.
Listen.
When she see that money flying in the air, she
Yes.
So now, how long is the class?
It's 1 hour. And so, excuse me. Yeah, it's 1 hour long. And so I'm guaranteeing you that if you just move, you will definitely sweat and you will burn at least 700 calories.
Now, do I have to worry about in the morning that I'm going to be stoved up and I'm not going to be able to move?
No, not at all, because we stretch. You know, I mean, it's a whole, you know, procession. You're not just going to get out there and just start dancing. I mean, we do our stretches, but everything is to Afrobeat music. I have music from Congo. I have music from Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana. I got doggone Sierra's Afrobeat song. She had Level Up. You know, and so we take it in a progression.
5, 4.
Right. Seriously, because honestly, that's Afrobeats, and people don't really associate the U.S. with Afrobeats. But
Okay, tell me more about, because I'm one of those, how is Level Up Afrobeats? Like,
Listen to that beat. Listen to that beat. Come on now.
Because is it considered Afrobeat when it makes me kind of...
Absolutely, yeah. It's the beat. It's the way the beat goes that makes it Afrobeats. And so you've got that. You've got Cuban music. I mean, all of that. But
And you've always been very culturally diverse.
Yeah, I do. I love all culture. I know. My coworkers, they kind of joke that I don't like Americans. I'm like, I do like Americans, but I think foreigners are so interesting.
Listen, she's always been into a diversity of cultures and things of that sort. And I just think that that's dope that you've brought this whole concept together. Now, you said your passion for dance, it was long. Where did the aha moment going? I need to start me a class.
Well, to be honest, it was something that I found myself doing. I tried to get back into the gym, and, you know, once you've had a baby, your body doesn't just automatically reset. You know, you've literally had a human come out of you. And so one thing that I noticed is I couldn't get on the treadmill and run as fast. You know, like all of the different types of workouts I was trying, it wasn't easy. And so I noticed that if I go in the bathroom and I do my Afro beats, I would literally come out sweaty. And so I actually found that I was doing that, and I was having fun because you know how it is when you go to get dressed and stuff. You naturally just dance, and so I'm like, well, this is something I can do at home. I don't have to go to the gym. And so my husband was like, man, you're actually kind of a good dancer. I mean, you kind of look like Nigerian a little bit.
That's how she got 3 babies.
That's true too. That's true too. But I'm saying, but seriously though, me doing that, it really pushed me, and I started seeing the pounds shed. And that's when I kind of got serious and said, okay, I'm starting to see the pounds shed doing this. It's something that I love. I love dance anyway. And I'm not going to lie. So I was a little intimidated being an African American doing Afrobeats.
Okay, tell me about it.
That actually really scared me a lot because I do have a lot of Nigerian homegirls, and I didn't want them to feel like I'm trying to hijack their culture, you know, if you will. But I thank God for my best friend who is, she's one of my closest friends, and she's actually Nigerian Igbo. And we had to talk about it, and I said, girl, I'm like nervous to start.
Wait, she's Nigerian Igbo?
She's Nigerian Igbo, so Igbo is her tribe. It's like where she's from. Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
I knew what you was talking about.
Be educational.
You know what? She gonna speak that thing. She gonna speak that thing, and we gonna be turning up at your wedding. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna be here. Oh, y'all.
Look, you already whining. Look at her. She whining. You whining, girl. I got you. I see you.
Look, you get the invitation. You gonna be there.
Look.
You gonna be there.
I got you.
Tell us about your best friend. Do not encourage me now.
But you know what, though? She is speaking it, though. And that's how it works, the law of attraction. I'm with you. I love my Nigerian husband, so I'm with you.
Thank you. I'm gonna be over here just in love and just be, oh, nah. Oh.
She really does listen because she's singing a real song.
She thought I was playing.
She's been saying it. I didn't think about that when I invited you. That my friend has an obsession. She really
That
wants
is
to
so
be.
funny. Let me see if my husband has some friends, though. But, yeah, so when I had a talk with her, she kind of brought out a good point. She said, you know what, you have to be true to who you are. And she was like, people are going to talk about you if you do. They're going to talk about you if you don't. And one of the things is, I don't know if you guys know that, but there can be some friction between Africans and African Americans. Especially because of the whole cultural disconnect. They tend to think that we think we're better than them, and we're a little lazy because we're here in this great country of America and we're not really accomplishing much. And then we tend to think that they keep their culture to themselves and don't really invite us in. They, allowed us to be shipped here, and then some people even think that we were sold here and all that good stuff. And so there tends to be that bit of friction. Mm-hmm. And so, but just talking to her, she made a lot of sense. She was like, this is something that could really kind of, I don't want to sound corny, but bring unity. Because, the Afrobeats does span not just in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, but it's here. And it's natural because it's who we are. Even though, we've been here for several hundreds of years, it's still who we are. And so, honestly, it's crazy, but I know that I'm being my authentic self. I love it. I wake up in the mornings at about 5:30, and I can't wait to go into the gym in front of that mirror and practice. And then when I get home from work, I drag my babies into that gym.
Really?
I promise you, and my little one, he can dance. Nambi, that boy can dance. That's going to be my little partner. But, I drag them into the gym. We do it sometimes 2-3 times a day. I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, is your class just for adults or?
No, I open it up. I'll go as young as 11. And at some point we may do something for the kids, but I'll go as young as 11 because the whole thing is just to have fun.
Now, I imagine out there in the Grapevine, Euless area, this has to be a very diverse class because when I think of that area, I think of diversity. You didn't say you were doing it up Cliff,
Oh, no, yeah, I know. No, actually, and that's what's cool about it is that we do have different races. I have Spanish people there, I have white people there. It's everybody because everybody is kind of curious about learning something different. And so I think it's awesome. I would encourage the listeners, come out, try it. You will at least have fun.
Listen, I'm going to have to, Grapevine is long, but I'm going to have to come out and just...
But the Euless is not that far.
Cliff, that's still 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I will give you that. That is true.
But listen, I'm gonna get in the car with you and we gonna go.
Yeah,
make it a road trip. I'm telling you.
Listen, and be sweaty.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to.
You will be sweaty. I'm not gonna lie. You will definitely leave there sweaty.
I'm not gonna wear this hair when I go.
No, you don't want to because you might lose that hair. I'm telling you. We go in. We have fun.
I'm here for it.
Listen, I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, for the beginners who may be nervous about being, because when I think of Afrobeats, I think of our culture and our DNA, regardless of where you come from. You're right. As African Americans, there's a lot of animosity there between the two cultures, and I think that's just life. That's something that we may never get over. But when I think of that music, there's a lot of body that goes into it. So what if you say to the person who my body really don't connect? Am I gonna be in there embarrassed?
Not at all. I actually have low intensity and I have high intensity. So when I show you like a particular dance move that we're going to do, first of all, I'm going to ease you into it. And then I have my people that are like, I know exactly what I'm doing. So we start off with the low intensity for those people just to kind of give you still that little feel like, okay, you're doing a little shaku, but it's a little easier for you and really just going to get you to sweat. And then I have my high intensity of the people like, oh, so you think you can really dance? Get this one. So everybody can come and relate to it and have fun. I can guarantee you. I have
friend. Don't go to the class. Go.
I'm telling you.
Don't be at my wedding embarrassing me.
I got you, girl. I will even train your bridesmaids. I will give them a little.
Don't be up in there embarrassing me, friend.
She is really speaking this wedding though. You know what, girl? Give you about a year or two.
But
the way
you
she's
keep
speaking.
encouraging her.
Because that's how it happens. I'm telling you, before I met my husband, like that January, I said, I want to be married or engaged by the end of this year. And people thought I was crazy. I would be outside walking around the building at work like, I'm going to be married. And I promise you, I married my husband the day after Christmas. It happens like that. When you passionate about
So
something.
how you meet him?
Online.
Shut up.
My coworkers egged me on and told me I need to get online because what I'm doing ain't working. And I did it and met him so randomly. And we clicked, but we Skyped first though.
Listen, but they look like such a happy family. Like, I mean, they
He's
just be sitting up
awesome.
there.
No, like literally I met my match. And it's crazy because I was really so going for an Asian guy and not even, an African guy. And he was going for a Nigerian girl from his, what do you say, his one of his sisters, like somebody from, his country. And we just met and just clicked.
So how does it work having a two-cultural household? Do y'all just blend or do y'all...
We blend, but it was an adjustment because my daughter, that's 12, is from before him. And so one thing is, within the culture, especially for Nigerians, they eat rice and stew a lot. And so it's real spicy. And so just trying to get my daughter to adjust to eating the foods and stuff that I knew that my sons are going to eat, that was an adjustment. Just trying to be patient with her. And then also, like, just even the dynamic of a man and a woman in the relationship, it was an adjustment. But I think because I was single for so long and I really kind of had time to get to know myself, it was easier for me to adjust. Because it's kind of like, at that point, I wanted a man to step up and be the man. I don't know if that makes sense. And so...
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
Good.
so...
I'm here for it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's... And still, we still have to adjust, because typically in their culture, they do certain things, but, like, we both compromise a lot. And I will say, he is really good, because he's so traditional, but for me, like, he will compromise on a lot. And I'm like, okay, good, because I really can't cook rice.
Now, does he come to your classes and stuff?
No. But you know what? He can dance.
See?
I actually have wedding footage of him this weekend, and, like, literally, they wait for him to get on that dance floor, because he is a fool. He can dance. Yes. He can dance. So
I'm here for it. Tell them about the classes again and how they can sign up.
Okay. So, again, we have classes on Saturdays, 9 a.m., and then at 12 p.m., they're 1-hour classes. We have one in Grapevine at the Grapevine Rec, 9 a.m. Go to their website and register. Or you can do the 12 p.m. class at the Euless Family Life Center. We will be adding a Wednesday night class in December. So, and then you can always hit me up. Also, I have my YouTube that I just launched last night, actually.
Yay!
And so I'm going to upload tutorials for those people who maybe don't have childcare, things like that. I'm going to start uploading like 1-minute tutorials, and then I'll upload the full song. And so you'll start to see those videos next week. And the name of that YouTube channel is Afrobeats Fit.
Afrobeats Fit.
Yes.
Afrobeats Fit. You guys make sure you
going on
guys
Please.
like, subscribe, and share that information. Now, what encouragement would you give to somebody who just became a mom, or who they trying to get the weight off and they don't really know what to do? They just don't know what step to take.
Well, to be honest, I've always been heavy. I've never been skinny. And so there can be a lot of pressure. You got to snap back. I would say ignore that. You need to move at your own pace. And some things that I did for myself, because I still haven't lost all my baby weight, I'm still a work in progress, was number one, I just started to make sure that I dress for myself, to make myself feel better. I get up extra in the morning, get up extra early in the morning, just to, throw a little bit of makeup on and stuff, little things like that to make myself feel better. Make it about you. Don't make it about anybody else. And do what you can do. So if you can only work out for 5 minutes, that's 5 minutes more than you did before. But don't listen to the pressure of you got to snap back. Because some people will naturally snap back. Some people, it just takes time. I wouldn't worry. Don't add that stress to your life. You got enough to worry about with your baby.
Listen, and she got 3 of them. And
Yeah.
your youngest baby is 1, right?
Yeah, they're Irish twins. They're 11 months apart. Lord Jesus. I'm not even going to try.
So you got 12. Give me the age.
I got somebody that just turned 1.
Uh-huh.
And somebody that just turned 2 today.
Okay.
So they were 1 together for
wow.
a few weeks. Yes, for about 2.5 weeks.
That's cute.
Yes.
So 1, 2,
and 12.
And 12. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you had 3, but I'm trying to give you another baby.
No, don't give me another one, girl. I ain't ready yet. I ain't ready.
I thought she had
One more up in
like
there.
four.
Like, nah, let's keep that one. I'm straight on that one for now.
Oh, you looking at? Would you like to have another one?
My husband wants one more, and I will give that to him in like 2 or 3 more years. Let me relax. Being pregnant for 2 years in the summer in Texas, I'm straight. I'm straight. So, we will save that for you.
I've done it. She said, I've done it. I'm over it.
I'm good.
Listen, I'm here for it. Thank you so much for coming in and
Thank
telling us
you.
about Afro beats and how you've got motivated with your own passion.
Thank
And that's
you.
good because sometimes we don't realize that there's something that we just automatically connect with, and that could be the next thing that just takes us over. And you look like you're so happy with it.
I am. I love it. I do. I really love it.
The classes are Saturdays. I'm gonna mess it up. Tell them one more
No,
time.
it's okay. Saturdays, 9 a.m., Grapevine Rec Center in the field. And at 12 o'clock, Euless Family Life Center.
At Euless Family Life Center. Coming up this December, you can catch the class in Euless on Wednesday.
Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
Listen. And the YouTube channel.
YouTube channel, Afrobeats Fit. Make sure you go on there. I promise you, you will get a new video every week.
Every week. Well, what's the
That's
song
right.
then? Oh, no.
Girl, I'm gonna have to let you listen to that, Fred. They be having some music though.
But you know what? She's onto something because, to be honest with you, like the Breakfast Club and pretty much in Texas, we are not on it. We are not on it in Texas. But up north and in the UK and all over Europe, they are on it. Just look on YouTube.
Friend, my
It's
phone
coming.
is not just full of Boosie and Webby. I do have a little mixture in there, and you'd be
I'm here for
surprised.
it. I'm here for it. I'm not knocking it.
I'm telling you.
It's
It's coming. In about a year, watch. Y'all gonna be like, y'all heard that new David O? Y'all heard that new techno?
Friend, you gonna be at my wedding dance?
She will. She gonna be hosting.
Oh, no.
You gonna be the MC.
That is her job. Friend, come on. I'm gonna pay you, but come on. I need you to get up here.
Shout out to Brittanie Oluchi from Afrobeats. We wish you much success with your class. I'm so excited for everything that you have going on. And your babies. And so you gonna have a girl in 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, but we ain't even gonna start speaking that
Name,
one yet.
just name her T. It's okay. That's
I
the
got
point. The point of the conversation. She missed it. She was like, yeah, I was concerned about her name.
Look at that.
Listen, she gonna be mad if she fool around in the next few months.
Oh, no, I
Brittanie, you
bet
know I
not.
speak babies here.
No, don't speak this way. Just keep speaking that way. You're Nigerian baby.
No, not yet. I still got work to do. The Lord told me I still got work to do.
You guys, make sure you like and subscribe to Afrobeats Fit on YouTube, so you guys can get all your classes, and make sure you go out and patronize the course and get your move on. 700 calories, that ain't bad. Listen, it ain't. But so that means I gotta bring water and a towel.
Yes.
You know I'm be liking to sweat, and I gotta get back in the gym though. I gotta do something. My pants. We must do something, especially because it's fat eating season. It is. Listen, but these fat, Brittanie,
You look good.
don't get me wrong.
Look at her.
I know I'm cute.
Yeah, you look good.
I just don't want to buy no new clothes, and these are a little tight.
You look good.
It's live with Miss T on DFWRadio.com. When we come back, Carmen Keys is going to give you your top 5 songs to add to your playlist this week. You did get the list of the songs.